It's Car Con Carne. Let's eat in the car. It's Car Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
And welcome back to the working week. It is Car Con Carne. I'm James Van Alstyne. The show lovingly rendered, lovingly sponsored, presented by C&H Financial Services, also by our friends at Siren Records in McHenry. And I'm at the point of the pandemic, 13 months in, where I've decided to start inventorying all my vinyl. I pulled up the Discogs app and I'm scanning stuff. That's where we're at in the pandemic. 13 months at home. I'm now making sure I have everything organized and cataloged. No reason other than just to do it. Coming up on Car Con Carne tomorrow night, Donna from the band Juna, a really fantastic post-rock, post-punk, just super cool, noisy band from Chicago. Donna from Juna will be joining us. Also, Kenny Johnson, he is an actor who is currently seen in the TV show SWAT. He was also on The Shield and Sons of Anarchy and Bates Motel. I'll be talking to him along with former Chicago Blackhawks Stanley Cup winner Brent Sopel, and also another Chicago band on the way, Tiny Kingdoms. So much going on. And that all said, this is episode 591. We are 9 episodes away from episode 600, which I find shocking, hard to believe. But at some point, it had to happen. It was inevitable. At some point, I had to return to the car. At some point, I had to resume podcasting behind the wheel of a Mazda 3. That's my plan. I'm going to keep doing shows like this because it's easy and it's certainly convenient for artists who can't jump in my car. But I'm also going to return to the car and help promote Chicago and suburban restaurants and eateries and persons of note. So if you are a restaurateur, if you know a restaurateur who'd like to be included, hit me up. I'm on all the socials except for TikTok because I'm over 30. That all said, my guest tonight, I love this band. Oh, man, it's MAKS the Fox joining us from the MAKS Cave. Nice to see you. We've got Kori, Marlon, and Rachel.
Mm-hmm. Hi, James.
Hi. Thanks for having us.
Are we in the practice space tonight?
We're in MAKS the Fox Studios here.
Were you practicing right before this?
No. We were setting up for this excellent interview, and we were talking about what our next practice is going to be.
Yeah, we recorded most of the album here in our studio, and Marlon actually records other local Chicago bands, and we spend a good amount of time down here playing music. Mm-hmm.
So the album that's coming out is That We Exist. It comes out on April 23rd. We're a little ahead of the curve. We're going to talk about the album. I hope, if nothing else, it inspires people to salivate and anticipate and really eagerly look forward to its release, because it's another fantastic release from you all. I'm such a fan of what you do. That said, it's been over 5 years since you put out the last album. Mm-hmm. And pandemic aside, everything that's happened over the past year aside, what's changed in the band's approach and vibe since then?
Oh, man.
Well, a lot. When we put out From the Deer Forest, we had our friend Sarah playing viola, sorry. And so she was with us for the first album and the second album, and she moved to Oklahoma. So we kind of regrouped a little bit when she moved. Mm-hmm. And I would say we're more of a standard sounding, I don't know, like drums, bass. We still have cello, so that's good. But we kind of moved away from like an orchestral folk pop music to more standard rock, I would say. Pop rock, something like that.
Maybe like folk rock, because you still get the cello element that'll come through on the title song That We Exist. But I alternate between cello and bass. So each song, the whole vibe is different. You never know what you're going to get in each song. You're going to get a little taste of something. And I think you get some throwbacks to the first two albums and how those were done too, because the first album was really drums, guitar, vocal, string section, but viola based. And then, the second album you had wow, why do I say you said violin? I'm sorry, Sarah. It's viola.
Sarah's watching us like, come on, you guys. We clearly still need her in the band because she was the one that really was keeping us together.
Yeah, no.
We really did have to regroup quite a bit when she.
What's different was we had to write a new album with a missing sound that we would always count on that viola as like the solo, where you'd hear a traditional guitar solo. But yeah, so this album, I think we lean heavier on the rock. We lean heavier
There's
on.
a lot of really good guitar solos. Marlon's really good at playing those guitar solos. So you'll
hear a lot more like Moog synthesizer on there. So we did a lot of extra textures that we didn't have to do before because Sarah was filling that solo instrument, that lead. It's viola. We know, Sarah.
Can't get away with anything anymore.
Right? Like years. We played together for years.
She was waiting for us to mess up.
She was here first.
She was just perched and ready for you to make a misstep.
But we played the album a lot too. Like from the Deer Forest, we played a lot of really good shows. We played out at Lincoln Hall and Shubas, and I feel like there was a significant amount of time between 2016 and now, obviously, but we've been continuing playing music. We just didn't really, we took our time with writing these songs, I would say. And it's one of the reasons we're so proud of the songs and proud of this album, because we really picked the best songs and developed them.
Yeah, Rachel said folk rock when we first started talking. And I think that if someone were to just hear that, they would have a preconceived notion of what you are. That's not what you are. I mean, there are those elements, but there is that pure rock and roll in there, and there's a timeless sound to what you're recording here. If you had told me that this new album was recorded in 1994, I'd say, yeah, okay, I believe it. If you had said it was recorded in 2001, sure. April 23rd this year, why not? There is a certain timelessness to what you're doing here, which is super cool.
Good. That's good. Yeah, I think we maybe steer clear from things that would really date the album. Like we don't use auto tune or something that maybe in 10 years everyone's going to listen to these songs and be like, what were we doing? Why did we do this? Because there's definitely a time period stamp on some of the top 50 songs
that are popular, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that.
That's good. Thank you.
I want to talk about the cover. I'm going to see if I can share the cover because to me, hey, give me a second. I've got to pull this up. Not used to sharing in this. To me, this is a very Chicago-looking picture. Is this where you live? Is this the home base?
Yeah, it was actually a really cool story how we got to that album art. One of our neighbors, her mom is an artist, and she was visiting for the weekend the house that is in front of our coach house, and she was out doing just like a pencil drawing with watercolor, and we happened to see her post that she did this really amazing drawing of our house. And as soon as we saw it, we're like, can we please have that to use as our album cover? Because it really put a good stamp on that this whole album was made in this house for us.
And we were kind of anticipating that Tessa, our neighbor, would talk to her mother-in-law and give us a copy or a print, but they actually gave us the original.
Yeah, she gave us the actual drawing, so we were able to scan it and get some really good album art out of it without even having to think, what's the cover going to be? It's as soon as we saw it, we knew that's it.
Yeah.
Well, the first time I saw it, I assumed it was your place, but I looked at that and thought, that is every neighborhood in Chicago. Right there. That speaks to where you are from. Yes, and then that said, how important is your Chicago-ness, so to speak, to the band?
I was thinking about that somewhat recently. I moved to Chicago in 2004, and I've been here a long time, and I love Chicago, and I can't wait for everything to come back. We go to Lollapalooza. Marlon and I are married. We have a child. We do all the Chicago things. We go, watch the free movies in the park on Monday nights, and we do Lollapalooza. We might not now because we have a 5-month-old, but if Lollapalooza comes back, I'm not sure that we'll go. We might have, I don't know.
But you guys would go to a lot of shows.
Yeah, we go to shows. We were going to 3 nights a week at least. We go see we're close to Shuba's. We're close to the Beat Kitchen.
Yeah, Beat Kitchen's right down the street.
So.
I think, the amount of shows that we actively went to, I would say influenced the music a lot because we're always seeing new music. The things that we do in Chicago, the lakefront, the bike path, all the scenery that we get to absorb in this awesome city, I think imprints on the kind of music we make for sure.
Yeah.
How's the Chicago scene? How have you existed in the scene? How has it been supportive wise, just working in and around it? What's it been like over the past 15 years?
Well, the band, I mean, I would say we've made some pretty good contacts with like the community shows. We're going to be doing a Lakeview porch show. They do some of those, like Lagunitas brings beer, and the neighborhoods come out, and I'm sure this spring, this summer, people will have masks on and be still celebrating music and community in a respectful, safe way. But yeah, I think that there's a lot of really good music in Chicago, a lot of good local music. There's like house shows, and I would say Chicago's really supportive of
local music. For sure. They really pride themselves on that, and so that's fun for us to be able to be a part of that, and in the future to hopefully start playing out again. I know I'm chomping at the bit to play again. It's been 15 months, and I think even longer since we've last played out, because we were in the midst of writing this album and in the midst of the transition of instrumentation, and so it just took a little bit longer because we had to kind of figure out, okay, what do we want our sound to be now, and where are we going to evolve from there? So. Sorry, that's like answering two questions at once. But
I love that.
The music, the Chicago scene is always supportive of its own. It's its own neighborhood.
I feel like there'll be a lot of good music to come out of this. I think we've had people over recording. Marlon has a lot of contacts through like Old Town School of Folk Music and some pretty like amazing, great musicians that have come record. And I think people have been creative. People are probably using this time to like be introspective and like think about all the things that we're all going through together. So I think there's a lot of good songs and a lot of good music coming out of it.
I think you're absolutely right. I feel that just doing my radio show, I've been getting a larger volume than usual of new music, which suggests to me that people were just woodshedding over the past 13 or so months. It's kind of like after World War II, when there was the big baby boom, everyone was, at home and just focused on just being at home and doing that. This is our artistic baby boom. I think we're about to feel that.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
So you mentioned From the Deer Forest, and that album had a very deliberate arrangement. It had an intro, it had an outro. With the new album that we exist, is the sequencing meant to take us on a journey? Is it as deliberate, or at least as deliberate as I perceived the last album to be?
I think the first track, So Questions, was kind of an older song that got reworked. It wasn't we didn't have like an intro and outro, but I would say Down, Down, Down and Daybreak are towards the end of the album. And Daybreak is like this very kind of repetitive, like living the same day over and over again kind of a feel.
Well, it begins in a very whimsical kind of way.
Like everything comes and goes. There's nothing that stays. It's sort of like, you can't really control the situation and just trying. It's sort of like a mantra for me of just every day is going to be maybe the same for a while. And, it was fun to write and fun to sing and fun to record, but it was one of those like healing songs.
And Down, 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 we kind of thought to throw that at the end of the album because it kind of lulls you away of like, and now we move on.
Well, it's a long song. It's kind of a slow burning song.
Yeah, it's a heavy hitting, more 6/8 kind of feel on that. So,
well, you mentioned Questions, which opens the album. Cool keyboards on that one. Has an awesome bridge. I think it's a good up-tempo way to reintroduce the band to the world.
Yeah, thank you. We were really conflicted with track 2 and track 1. We almost put track 2 and track 1.
Okay. Days Are Mapped Out is my favorite song on the album. I mean, that is, but that's good. You set the tone with the first song, then you hit hard with track 2. I mean, that is just an infectious song. The chorus vocals, the keyboards, the countdown, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I love that song. That's one that's a shortcoming of the podcast format. That's something I would love to just say, let's play it. Let's go to the tape. Let's play that song. But when people can get access to the new album, definitely remember that we talked about that because it's so good. What people can enjoy right now, the title track, That We Exist, there is a performance video you did for that, which is out in the wild. Where did you shoot that?
Right here.
Here.
I was going to say, I don't recognize the space, but I guess it's because I haven't been to your house.
We have the fog machine down here. If you need
Do you really?
You'd have to fog it and add a lot more lighting, but yes, this is the same room.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Can you get the fog machine going?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see.
That would be a podcast first.
Yeah.
A little noisy.
Can you see it yet?
Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah,
Sorry, Rachel. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
this is great. This is so
There you
rough.
So if you
I'm not
want,
sure
we
why
can
we-
do like the Chicago Bulls theme and then come in. And now, introducing Rachel.
From North Carolina.
At this point, there's so much fog. Max the Fox is just a rumor. We're not even sure they're still on the show. Yeah. It's just- we think they're there.
Just gonna keep it. It'll dissipate.
I want to talk about a couple other songs that I like. Let's give it up for the cello on Quitting Time.
Oh, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's a fun one. And I love the shared lead vocals on Walking Down the Path.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a sucker for that kind of stuff.
I feel like in this album, I definitely went underneath as far as like a vocalist for this album. So you're really seeing a lot of Kori, and I'm just kind of tucked underneath. And it was great for me because I got to focus on guitar playing for most of the songs.
Marlon keeps saying that Walking Down the Path, is just like one of his only songs or something, but really, obviously, all the guitar intros, a lot of the songs were kind of born together at band practice.
Mm-hmm.
And like the words, I might just have some words up and like start reading some words and think, check my notes, check my journal, and like see what fits kind of, oh, the song's definitely about this or this. So, but yeah, as far as like the lyrics, Walking Down the Path, I guess. But yeah, Marlon records the album. He does all the video production work. I mean, you don't have to come up with the words.
Plays lead guitar and all that.
All the lead guitar parts. I mean,
Provide the fog machine.
The fog machine is obviously Marlon's too, but
That's kind of how it goes, though. It'll be either Marlon or Kori comes in. Marlon might come in with, "Hey, I have this guitar riff," and that's I think how That We Exist started. Was with ba-da, 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 and I was like, "Okay, this is cool. This is super cool. Yeah, I can." And then and those are always such fun songs.
Vampires
was so instantaneous. Yeah, and that's the fun part is like you do get some songs that you get only the riff or you get some lyrics and it just clicks and you start jamming on it and it comes together. Other songs can take a little bit longer, but I don't know. That has always seemed to be kind of how
some songs are just
worked.
a lot of work, and some songs are not any work at all.
And some they just
And
come
it's
together and you go, okay, great.
Like come around on the last album was just like an instantaneous like everybody we like literally the same night of band practice, like, and it just all came together.
There we go.
And then there's like one song that I've been working on for like 2 years.
And then it finally
it's just like it's not happening. And somebody just gotta like rip it up and be like, okay, this song we gotta get rid of this other song because it's supposed to be this easy.
Yeah.
That's kind of how the creative process goes.
Another song I gravitated towards pretty instantly was Starting Over, which is a bluesy and soulful kind of song. Drop the needle, we'll spin it around. Tell me about that song, because that's one that just hit me.
It's sort of funny because the song, we wrote that before this pandemic. And when I think about, dropping the needle and spinning around and traveling in my mind, because I can't travel physically. I mean, a lot of those things kind of have a new meaning now for me. But yeah, I mean, starting over, I think it was around the time Sarah went to Oklahoma. So I was thinking about starting over.
Like we had to rebuild the
rebuild
band
some
dynamic
stuff.
again.
I think it was
Way to
also
go, Sarah.
And for people just joining us, Sarah played violin.
Sarah played violin.
Not viola.
But like starting over was also like a little bit tongue in cheek to be serious, like the refugees situation that was happening, and like it was sort of like people are not coming to this country because they want to. It's like oh man, I just like starting over. Like it's sort of like part of it was just like I don't
like no one chooses to want to leave their
no one
home.
chooses to start over. No one wants to necessarily. I mean, maybe, but probably not.
But yeah, you're kind of
so some of it's
thrust
like
into a
just
situation where-
yeah. So I feel like the song's kind of about the tension of starting over.
All right, so That We Exist again, it'll be everywhere, anywhere you can find music on April 23rd.
Yep.
And we're talking about it, which is kind of a tease, but I hope it gets people excited enough to dive in when it's available, because it's a really strong album. And like I said, there's a timeless quality to it, which just it feels right in any occasion. I think you did it. I think this is a fantastic album. Congratulations.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you, James.
it'll be everywhere April 23rd for digital platforms, and then the vinyl will be
Yes.
available.
We'll add to your collection over there.
Yeah, we'll send you one. It'll be available in June, but pre-orders for the vinyl are open now on our website, maxthefox.com.
There's nothing cooler as a band than to hold that physical. CDs are great, but to hold the physical record, like that's like the achievement award for
And we
finishing
went
it.
back and forth for this one. We're not going to do CDs this time unless we get enough people telling us where's the CD.
Yeah.
But I feel like download and vinyl appeases both sides of the crowd right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. That's
Yeah.
totally it.
Yeah.
All right, Max the Fox, stay right there. Thank you for listening and watching wherever you've been enjoying Car Con Carne. That's Max the Fox. We love them.
Thank you.
Thanks, James.